Alright, what we're making today, we're making a green spinach fettuccine noodle. We're going to be making a, what is it? Almond basil pesto. So we're making that green spinach, which is going to be really cool, thrown in with it. It's going to be like green on green and everything. So taking you through basic pasta making. Which I'm going to do it, I'm going to adjust the recipe a little bit because I don't want to follow it 100% because I don't want to, calls for 6 egg yolks and I don't want to use 6 and waste the eggs, so I'm going to do it my way. Anyways, what I'm doing, I got 5 ounces of spinach roughly. Didn't quite count it all, but giving it a rough chop so it cooks up quicker and it's going to be easier for the food processor to get at it. It's going to have 1 teaspoon of salt. I like it a little saltier, so I threw in a little extra. It's got, I'm omitting the 6 egg yolks and 1 large egg for 6 eggs. And I can always add more water instead of yolk to make it a little more, if it needs more moisture to throw in, I can always throw in more water or another egg even. And it's just got olive oil, salt, flour, eggs, and spinach. So what I'm going to do is take my spinach, take it over to my pot. I got some salt in there. I'm gonna blanch it really quickly and just cook it off. And I forgot, I'm gonna get some water. Gonna have some ice water to stop the cooking really quickly. I'm gonna get this off. Got my food processor going. Get rid of the tea kettle and the coffee. So for blanching, you want to cook it really quickly and cook it for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and then take it out really fast. It'll be really lime green, and then blanch it in the cold water, and that'll stop the cooking. So I'm going to get some ice and get this in here, spinach in. So that's about 5 ounces. Get that going. So spinach is in there. I get some ice. That's good. So the spinach is in there. It's cooking up. So as you can see, it's going to be really kind of limey green. It'll get really bright. And it doesn't need to be in there for too long. You don't want to overcook the spinach. It'll take flavor out, and then you get spinach, cooked spinach tasting. So that's about good. At least a few more seconds. I had a colander and there we go.
Lots of noise, people.
It's real cooking. Alright, so that's about good. Quickly blanched, salted. And get that out. Strain it out. Get all that water out of there. Well, I don't think it needs to be put in the ice bath. I'm not sure. I forget. I didn't read it, but I'm going to do it anyways. That's what I'm used to doing. So that's about the 5 ounces of spinach.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Spinach is in there. Let's get that going. And that's why you don't cut it up, so it stays in kind of chunks. And so you get your spinach going. The light going there. So that's about it. Other than that, you just got to get it. Then you get the spinach into the food processor with the flour and the salt, and that's how it goes from there. So that's probably cooled down adequately. I'm going to take the ice out. Try not to take the spinach out with it. It's kind of melty. It's kind of got that. I'll take the spinach over here. Hopefully it all doesn't go through all the things. Wash out all that extra spinach. Let that sit and drain out. That is good. So I got a food processor. I'm going to do it by hand for the most part, but I can be. If you have a big enough food processor, it's easy to do, but I'm going to do it this way. To grind it up. What I did before is I actually added my egg to the spinach and pureed that into a green egg mixture and threw it in. It kind of worked, but I'm going to try the way it says on the instructions. So
Okay.
go with that.
Sounds good to me.
Get the water out. There's the spinach. Got the heat off. So now what I want to do, I'm going to read this up again, just to make sure. Process to mix well with the machine running. Add the eggs, egg yolks, and olive oil through the feed tube. The process until it resembles wet cornmeal. Okay, so I will take this bowl, get my eggs into it. Have them ready to go mixing in. I don't like adding the whole egg, it just kind of gotta wait for it one at a time so that I can just kind of drip it into the thing. Oops, that was close. Egg in the bowl. My eggs in there. It says about a tablespoon of olive oil, so I'll mix that in and throw an extra after. It's not the exact science, but it kind of is. You got to be pretty exact with this. And this is a lot less liquid for it, so I'm going to see what I get out of it. And the spinach is going to be moist, so that'll add some too, but we will see. Alright, so that's kind of good. Flour, combine the flour and the salt. So I'm going to throw the salt into the flour. It's kind of a small bowl, but yeah, I'm going to mix that up. Give it a fork. I'm going to get the salt into the stuff there. So I guess I'm going to do partial of the spinach. My food processor is really small, so I'm going to try to work with it. Bit of an experiment. See how it goes.
Okay.
I'm going to get the scoop for the flour for the food processor. I'll take this over. So heat is off. It's fine. I'm going to take my food processor, which I got here. Piece of art. My flour, spinach, and egg, and olive oil. So we're going to see how this goes. Random. Like ideally I should be able to throw all this in and get it all mixing together, but this just isn't going to happen, I don't think. So I'm going to have to work a little bit in, work a little bit out, take some in, take some out, see how it goes. And give myself a big bowl for after. Might even just do all spinach and then with a bit of flour and then mix the rest of the flour together in a bowl. Got my spinach here. A solid chunk. Oh, I gotta squeeze that dry. Still very wet. It's nice and green and everything. And like it doesn't have to be too dry because it's just going to be adding egg to it anyway, so a little moisture is alright. But at 5 cups of spinach, those 2 large bowls turned into this roughly. I'm going to throw in the spinach and kind of see how it goes. Experiment.
Okay, I'm ready.
Kind of turning green. That's got a little green to it. Go back and forth with it. So as you can see, that's a nice green to it. Nice light green. I'll take that out. I'm just going to add the eggs after the fact and do it.
It's very green.
Mm-hmm. Should add another couple ounces. It would have been really kind of vibrant, but
No, you still can.
yeah, I could cut more up. But I think I'll just go with that and
Okay.
add the eggs. So I need a egg fork or a fork, regular fork. This is no such thing as an egg fork. Maybe there is. So I'm gonna add the eggs. Called for 6 egg yolks and 1 large egg with the white, but I'm doing 3 eggs and maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil instead of the 1. And I'm going to see how it turns out. Maybe add another egg if need be, but I just don't feel like... I hate egg whites by themselves, and I don't feel like, cracking and separating at all. I'm sure it'll turn out. Like, doesn't need to be exact. I've done well with whole eggs before in pasta. But the egg yolks add a real creamy texture to the noodle. And the protein and cook off and get it thick. So maybe I might need another egg, potentially. This is already looking...
I was gonna say, I think you need another egg.
Mm-hmm. As it's getting wet, you can look at it's very...
dough.
Yeah, it's getting green, like really greenish.
Oh, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Looks nice.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It would be good for St. Patty's.
Oh yeah, for sure. Green pasta, St. Patty's.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I'm sure somebody's done it. So I'm grabbing another egg and add it, just see how it goes. And if it gets too wet at this point, I can always just add more flour, and that's an easy fix to it. I got another fork. Get that going. It's rarely I find a recipe for dough that turns out 100% like exactly the way it should be. It's kind of different. Maybe I just don't follow the recipe hard enough, but so that was about half an egg, 3/4 of it. I'm gonna work all that in. Just kind of start kneading it in. All right, get the hand going. And with the spinach ground into it, it's got a really grainy kind of texture to the flour, as you can feel.
I bet.
And this is where the dough hook would get really good, does a really good job. But I don't know, mine's not... I have one actually, but it just doesn't... Every time I put the dough in, it's like rattling around, like and making all sorts of noise. And I'm like, yeah.
I got a mess, making noise.
Oh, I think the thing's like $500 and it's just going to smash to pieces, so I'm like, not going to do that.
That's silly.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, it just doesn't function well. Like there's better varieties, I don't know what they're called, but this seems to work. I can do with this.
Get yourself a KitchenAid blender.
Yeah, KitchenAid, that's a brand I was thinking about.
Serious.
Mm-hmm.
Expensive little suckers.
Oh yeah.
You get them in any color you want too.
Oh, that's cool. And like red, classic red.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just continuing to knead this in, trying to get the flour into it, and trying to mix it up nice. Getting kind of dry now, but what you don't want to be left with is a really sticky pasta. And when it's not fully mixed and doesn't have enough flour and kind of combined, when it's going through the pasta roller, it'll be awful. It'll stick to the machine and everything. And don't want a tacky dough. It's better to be a little bit dry on the dough. Hope for the best anyways. We'll see how things go. If it ends up sticking in the pasta roller, I can always dust it with some, what do you call it? Flour. Some of this, save some of this, and kind of dust it on. I might even throw that back in the food processor to, and mix with some more egg.
Well, there's that
To
little
get
bit
a
of
little
egg
ball.
left still.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A little bit of olive oil and not waste any of that goodness.
Spinach goodness.
Mm-hmm. Get it all these little crumblies back out of it. So yeah, this dough's feeling actually pretty nice. I hope. Almost done. And that is more or less how it's going to be. It'll look nice. Nice and kind of mixed, and there's no clumps necessarily in it. There's a little clump there, but that's going to sit, and that is the pasta dough.
Looks good.
Thank you.